up, everyone? Pop Culture Junkie is back, and I have a special video to share with you today. So we just had this week brand new Funko Pops getting released, and they are popping up in your stores now. And I took a visit to a couple of shops to find the full set. I couldn't pass these up. Now, I'm not sure how many people out there are fans of this movie, but this is a classic Walt Disney 90s film, animation film, of course. The Emperor's New Groove. Okay, who's a fan? Okay, I gotta say, honestly, this is easily one of my favorite movies of all time that Disney has ever put out. I have to say it's probably one of the most underrated films that Disney has ever put out. In my opinion, this movie does not get as much love and admiration as it should. This movie, in my opinion, it was ahead of its time. So just looking at the cast alone, okay, you have David Spade, you have John Goodman, you have Patrick Warburton, you have Eartha Kitt. Okay, right there alone, that's your stars of the show, and they sell it to me like crazy. Okay, the movie was amazing. I watched it countless times at the theaters, and then I rented it and own it on tape. I've got the DVD here. I love this film. Okay, I think it was ahead of its time in some ways. You look at, in comparison to movies like Toy Story and the Pixar films and such, where they really hit you, emotionally. But at the same time, there's a lot of things in like movies such as like Toy Story, Monsters Inc., and so forth. They came out 4 or 5 years later, or at least Toy Story came out in the '90s, but still the first one at least. But you look at these movies and you see when you watch them as you're a young kid or maybe into your early teens, and then later you rewatch them into your adult years, and there's a lot of things that you missed as a kid that Disney always sneaks in there, and other movies, children movies as well. There's a lot of innuendos that you don't understand as a kid, but it's almost like a little bit of something they throw in just so the adults can have a little bit of a chuckle sitting through these movies sometimes. And I thought Emperor's New Groove nailed it in a lot of ways. There's a lot of real subtle comedy, a lot of innuendos that you wouldn't get necessarily right away. It really stood out to me because I really enjoyed the comedy of David Spade. I've always thought John Goodman was a talented actor. And Patrick Warburton, I think, is one of the underrated actors of his time. He's done lots of voice acting in different shows, especially in Family Guy, where he plays Joe. Okay, the voice of Joe is one of the characters in The Emperor's New Groove. Plays Kronk, who's just an amazing character. So anyways, why are we talking about The Emperor's New Groove? Because they came out with brand new Funko Pops based on these characters, and I have the full set here, and we're going to check them out and go over them and examine them and check them out. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about The Emperor's New Groove. I've not seen the movie yet. Spoiler alert, okay, because I'm going to just be talking about the movie throughout this little review. So if you haven't seen the movie and you want to see it, stop, go watch the movie, and come back, okay? But the movie is hilarious, awesome. I highly recommend it. You can easily find a copy of it on DVD or VHS or wherever. So let's go ahead and set this back here. Let's go ahead and check out the lineup of Pops, okay? I'm going to go one by one here. First off, let's go with Pacha. All right, Pacha is the character played by John Goodman. He's the villager that comes to the Emperor's palace, thinking he's going there for a real big important meeting of some sort. Turns out the Emperor just wants to know what's the best place to put a vacation spa, and he's going to demolish their village as well. Because obviously the Emperor doesn't care about anything but himself, which is the whole point of the movie. He teaches them, hey, you may have all this and that, money and riches and such, but mostly people don't like you, and people don't want to be your friend, okay? He doesn't have any friends. The few people he does have that he thinks are his friends actually just want to stab him in the back and get rid of him. So, but Pacha is the sweet, humble family man, has a wife and kids. The kids are hilarious. The wife is very feisty but funny. Let's check out Pacha though. Okay, you can see on the back here as well. These are all the different characters, and we're going to be looking at all of them because I do have the full set here. Let's go ahead and check out Pacha. Let's see how he looks up close and personal. All right, let's get our little display here. Do this right. All right, there we go. And then check out Pacha. Here we go. So there we see. Okay, he's got his little hood on his head. He's got his poncho and sandals. I mean, he looks just like the character in the cartoon. So it's very good detail. You get the full rotation there. You can see there. You know what? Let's go ahead and adjust this a little bit so y'all can really see. There we go. Zoom in a little. There we go. Now you get a full, better view there. So yeah, he's got the little, sweet, innocent smirk on his face. I just, yeah, I love the character Pacha. He's awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this one aside, and we're going to check out the next character. Okay, so why not go on to the Emperor himself? So here is the Emperor Kuzco. Emperor Kuzco, of course, is the character portrayed by David, or voiced by David Spade. David Spade, of course, famous for Saturday Night Live, partnering up with the late great Chris Farley on movies like Tommy Boy and Black Sheep and so forth. So Kuzco is a very young and big-headed emperor. Okay, he's young and inexperienced and just wants to party and have fun and doesn't want anyone to tell him anything. Doesn't want anyone to tell him he can or can't do anything. It's his way or the highway. But unfortunately, when that happens, you get things done your way and only your way. You're going to turn off a lot of people from wanting to be around you, be engaged with you in any kind of conversation or any kind of activity. And yeah, Kuzco finds out the hard way that, he's not all that he thinks he is. So yeah, here's Kuzco. Let's go and check it out. Let's see him out of the box here. Boom, baby. Kuzco. That's right. Now, I gotta say, honestly, one of the things that really surprised me about The Emperor's New Groove, the movie itself, is that most Disney films, okay, let's look at the track history. Let's look at the majority of Disney films, such as Beauty and the Beast, let's say Lady and the Tramp, okay, movies such as that. You have Little Mermaid, okay, things like that. There were a lot of musical heavy animation movies. The Emperor's New Groove wasn't that much of a musical. By my recollection, there is only one musical number in the entire movie, and it's at the very beginning where they're singing about Kuzco and how great he is, or at least how great he thinks he is. But from there on, it's just a movie. There's no actual like dance numbers or anything like that. So yeah, that was one thing that stood out to me with the Emperor's New Groove was I was used to every Disney film having some kind of musical number every 10 minutes or so. So yeah, so there he is. Okay, this is Kuzco as the Emperor. Okay, you see him in this form at the beginning of the movie, and then you see him again at the end of the movie. Why do I say that? Well, I'm going to show you in a minute because we have another character to show you that's also the Emperor. So yeah, check him out though. He's got his headdress there. He's got his little gown or robe on the back, and he's just having a good time. So let's go on to our first bad guy. And I don't even call this guy a bad guy because he just doesn't know what's going on sometimes. Here is Kronk. And I have to say, Kronk has some of the best lines in the movie. I love the moment where he's trying to get rid of Kuzco at the time. Okay, so real quick. Kuzco fires his personal assistant, and Kronk is the boyfriend, basically, of the personal assistant, Yzma. And they end up trying to poison Kuzco, but it doesn't work out. They end up accidentally changing him into something. And when he's knocked out, Kronk is supposed to just get rid of the body, basically. Kind of a dark thing for a Disney film, right? Anyways, Kronk, he's like humming the theme to like Mission Impossible, trying to get through the city to get rid of Kuzco's body. I mean, he's unconscious. He's not dead. He's just unconscious. And Kronk, the moment there where he drops the bag that Kuzco's in, and his shoulder angels show up, I think it's some of the funniest moments in the movie right there. The other thing is when he's cooking, when he becomes the short order chef for the for the little cafe diner that they all end up running into each other at. So Kronk, let's check him out. Again, he's voiced by the actor Patrick Warburton, and you've seen him as the voice of Joe on Family Guy. He was Putty in Seinfeld, Elaine's on again, off again boyfriend. You may know him recently from Ted. He was in Ted 1 and Ted 2, actually. He was Mark Wahlberg's co-worker at the car rental place, and then in the second one he's dressed up as the Tick because he was also the Tick in the live action show from the 90s. So here we see, all right, check out Kronk. Okay, he's just your beefcake, no brain kind of boyfriend to Yzma. Okay, he's not supposed to be bright, he's just supposed to be something good to look at, and he's all muscle and no brain. But at the same time, he's not really a bad guy because he's just, hey, Yzma says do this, all right, I'll do this. I'm not really sure I should do this, but hey, if Yzma says I should, I guess I'll do it. You know, and it's hilarious. He can also speak to squirrels. If you've seen the movie, you know that. So he's not completely without a brain, right? All right, so there you go. There's Kronk, and they did have a sequel that was called like Emperor's New Groove or something like that, or Kronk's New Groove, right? There you go. They did have a sequel where he had his own movie. Honestly, it was not as great. I had high expectations, but it was not as great as the original film, but still cool to see the character again. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our actual evil bad guy, bad person. This is Yzma. All right, we got Yzma. You see here, okay, she is evil. She's, you just scream like Cruella de Vil, Ursula. Okay, there's a lot of things about her you can see in comparison to other Disney female villains. Now, Yzma is the Emperor's personal assistant. Okay, she's the assistant to the Emperor. She's always trying to do his job, pretending that she has more power than she really does. And she ends up coming up with a plan to try to get rid of Kuzco by poisoning him, and then she wants to take over and be the new emperor or empress or whatever. So yeah, that's her plan. And of course, she is dating, or she has Kronk as her muscle-bound boyfriend. Let's go ahead and check her out and see how she looks out of the box here. All right, here we have Yzma, and she does have the little vial in her hand, so she has all these different potions and poisons and such. And the bottle she thought she was giving to Kuzco when they have dinner is obviously some kind of poison to kill him. Turns out she has all these potions that turn people into different animals and creatures, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the bottle that turns Kuzco into something, or if it's the cure, because at the end towards the end of the movie, she has the one thing that will change Kuzco back to his human form, and she's teasing him with it. So yeah, but of course, if you're not familiar with the voice actress of who does the voice of Yzma, it's Eartha Kitt, famously known as Catwoman in the Batman '66 show. So a little trivia for you there. So yeah, she looks awesome. Okay, she is your Disney villain, female villain. Okay, sort of like Ursula, Cruella de Vil, and so forth, Maleficent, and such. So yeah, very cool. Love the look of her. She is just scary. Just to look at, and I love Kuzco's line whenever she's talking to him. He's doing a little talking to himself, going, "Oh my gosh, what is holding this woman together?" I love that. All right, excellent. So there we have it. So there is the original 4 lineup right there. Okay, let me show you again. So this is the original 4 part of the series. You have Kuzco, you have Pacha, you have Yzma, and you have Kronk. But I have another box that I'm holding. And why am I holding this one? Because this is a Hot Topic exclusive of Kuzco. Because the whole thing about Kuzco and what happens in his adventure is Yzma and Kronk accidentally turn him into a llama, even though he's supposed to be dead. They turn him into a llama, and here is the Hot Topic exclusive of Kuzco as a llama. So let's check him out of the box here. All right, and oh, he looks so cool. Okay. Here we have it. There is Kuzco as the llama. Yeah. So, yeah, that is, again, David Spade voicing the llama. Okay, they didn't change actors, of course. The same voice acting for the different versions of Kuzco. But, yeah, the whole movie is basically Kuzco gets changed into a llama. He ends up getting thrown into a river in a sack. Then he ends up on the back of the cart of Pacha's cart as he's leaving the palace to head back to his village. He ends up taking Kuzco with him, and then Kuzco, once he realizes he needs help, he relies on Pacha to get him back to the palace and hopefully change him back. Of course, at first he's lying about saying like, "Oh yeah, I won't change the village anymore or do anything to it if you help me." He lies at first, of course, but soon learns that there's more important things than just having all the fancy monies and such in the world. Is friends and family is what's more important. So yeah, it's a great movie. I love that movie so much. I'll watch it. I'm probably gonna watch it as soon as I wrap up this video. I'll be watching it while I'm editing this probably. So yeah, I highly recommend the movie. It's hilarious. It's got so many fun quotes and memorable moments. So I highly recommend the movie. All right, everybody. Well, there you have it. That is the entire lineup of the Emperor's New Groove Funko Pops. That's right. We got the 4 key ones, and then we have the Hot Topic exclusive of Kuzco as the llama. And there you have it. So if you haven't heard of these yet, if you haven't ever watched the movie, I definitely recommend it. But if you've been a big fan of the movie like myself and you did not realize they have pops available of this, now is the time to go check them out. So check them out. You'll find them probably any store, but this one is only available at Hot Topic. You have to go there to get that one. Well, I just wanted to share with you all the amazing pops because this is, again, one of my favorite animated Disney films of all time. So I had to definitely get these pops. Could not pass them up. All right, well, hey, thanks again for watching. As always, if you did enjoy this, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done so yet, please click on that subscribe button so you can check out all my other content. Also, remember, you can check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My links are all available in the description of every video. And remember, if you ever want to do a box trade or send me something to feature on the channel, my P.O. Box is in the description of every video as well, so you can do that. All right, guys and gals, well, take care. See you next time. This is the one and only Pop Culture Junkie, and I'm signing out.